This is Duke University.
I think the most important thing to get right when you're trying to make an undergraduate researcher independent is your project selection for them. Undergraduates are not going to be able to find their own project to work on. And so you have to provide something for them. And there are two very, I think, most difficult tasks to that, and that's onboarding and finding attainable goals. So with onboarding, a lot of times an undergraduate's going to come in and they're not going to have a lot of background. They're not graduate students. They haven't had 6 years of high-level math. And there aren't necessarily a lot of materials out there for them to learn about what they need to know to start working on a research project. So in that way, a mentor is really going to be there and helping them, and sometimes almost just giving lectures to undergraduate researchers. But you don't just want to give them lectures all the time. You don't want to start them on a new class, and it's also very time intensive to teach students that. And undergraduate researchers want to get their hands on things. They want to do things on their own. So you need to find materials. And I've actually found that some very useful materials are applied math books. They leave out a lot of the technical mathematics that you might learn in graduate school, but isn't really necessary to do the research. The other point of helping students be independent is choosing attainable goals. And I think that people overestimate how far an undergraduate will get in a project. And then, so people will try to rein in the final goal for the project, but you have to rein it in really far. And the way that I like to set up goals for my students is to have something that's actually quite close by. Something it doesn't have to be big and super important, but it can just be something new that a student can say, I proved this, and this is how I did it, and this is why it's important. And then having goals, staggered goals after that for them to reach for if they have time. Assigning undergraduates some sort of deliverable at the end is also really important. It keeps me accountable in that that student has to have something to show for their time, and it gives students something that they could put on their website, or they can remember that I went through this process and it was difficult, and I did complete something and I was successful.